Yeah, don't adjust your monitor there. You see right, those two guys are standing on ladders in the back of that Ranger. Oh, that cracked me up.
How big a fish y'all looking at? How big a fish?
I don't know, probably 2.5.
There's one right here that's about 6.
Oh, hey.
It's real spooky though. There's another one on the other side of that dock, like a 4 or 5 pounder, but it's spooky too.
Real spooky.
That's a good fish right there. That's a 4 or 5 pound fish.
Is he swimming or is he on the bed?
Yeah, I probably spooked him. He just set up right here. Let's see where he goes. I think he's gonna be on this spot right here. He don't like me being here.
So I sit and observe this fish and screw with him a little bit. And what I finally figure out of watching him is he's not guarding a nest. He's guarding, or she's guarding, a wad of fry. Actually, it's a male, and then there's a big female. But the female, actually, I saw her up and down this bank several times. But this is a lesson in profile. So you see, I'm set up, and the fish has a big vision of me and of most of the boat. So I'm gonna watch it, mess with it for a few minutes, but then I'm going to turn the boat and I'm going to go past the fish, make a big circle, come back, and just present the fish the point of the boat and stay a little bit further away from the fish. And as soon as I do, the fish gets really active and aggressive towards anything that comes near her fry or his fry, I guess. So I'm not getting a great look at this fish. I know the area from observing him where he's wanting to set up, and I can see his fry. He's actually protecting kind of out in front of the fry, so anything that would come in from deep to shallow after those fry. And he grabbed the back end of my little tube here several times before I finally got him to really get a hold of it. But I've got him stirred up, and I can tell by his reaction. I actually banged it off of him a couple of times, and of course that really angers him. So I just kept at it, and as you see, this doesn't take long once I got the smaller profile of the boat on him and got a little further away from him. I could see him real good in the other spot, but he was not going to bite.
There you go. Ah!
Oh, dang.
Oh, that drives me nuts. I can't stand that. Oh, it's a good fish. That's the male.
Oh, wow.
The mama's twice that size.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
That's the 4th time he bit.
Oh, my word.
Me talking to my two buddies in the Red Ranger. They were from Conway, Arkansas, where our Sarah's cousin or uncle, excuse me, her uncle Jeff lived. Anyway, this is I had moved back over to the other side of that dock. I had seen this fish, and the fish was giving me the same type of attitude in that it didn't really want to set up on a spot. And I thought, well, that fish is garden fry. So I went back over there, poled down, and then just started looking for the fry. And it's like, there are the fry right in the edge of the grass. And once I found the fry, again, kind of the same thing. Now I'm throwing a white tube, even though I'm really not where I can see the fish. But the reason I'm doing that is I want to know where my bait is at all times, and it's just so much easier to see where that white bait is, especially when you get it near the fish, so you can pop that fish with it, because popping them really angers them. So that's why I'm throwing a white bait, and I put a little bit of, well, I don't think I've done it yet. Later on, I put a little chartreuse on the tail too to add a little bit of garlic scent to it. But I've got that fish. I know exactly where she's wanting to set up. She's setting up in about a 3 foot by 3 foot square over there. Again, kind of right out in front of her fry. And every time I get in there, she gets more and more aggressive. And I think she bit once before too, but then I got to stick in there.
fish right there, baby girl. Strong fish. That is also a fry girl.
So the boys in the Ranger could hear what happened, but they couldn't see it. So they hollered at me here, and I kind of squatted down where they could see that fish.
This 5-pounder, that one over there is bigger than this. It's a big old fish up there, Gardner fry. She bit it, and I missed her. Didn't know she bit it. Fished in there again, she bit it again.
This is a fish that I would have bet you $50 I'd catch this fish really fast. I saw this fish chase a brim out of the corner of my eye. I was just kind of going down this bank, pitching a Cinco out in front of me. And this fish is a long cast away from me. And I never presented a big profile of the boat to the fish. This fish is a 3 or 4 pounder, and there's another bigger one with him as well, but it would just come up and come out. And if you don't know, so black bass will spawn multiple times with multiple females, will spawn multiple times with multiple partners. That's really well documented, and they do it to try to make sure that their genes carry on. If they spawn just with one male, that male, I don't know, may not be sterile, may not protect the nest. So those bigger females, they'll spawn multiple times. So this may have been what that was a male that, or a female that was trying to come up and spawn again. But I hit this fish. I did everything I know how to do to try to catch this fish, and he never bit it. I got him angry, but he would run off the net, run off the area. His fish, his bait were in one of those uh, little grassy spots you see up there on that tall grass sticking up, right in the corner of that. And he was protected, but he was not going to bite that tube. He may have been caught earlier, who knows, or had been several boats through there, but no matter what I did, he wasn't going to bite it. So I stuck with him for a while, and then frankly, I gave up and I moved on.
Well, I finally saw her fry up there. She's got a water fry right in the edge of that bush. And I banged the jig off of her hard that time, and she took off and she hadn't come back. So I'm gonna move on. It was enough time spent on that fish. Probably a 3-pounder, maybe a little better. It's a solid fish, but it ain't gonna stick around.
And it's just so crazy the mood of fish. So there's a little 2-pounder-ish fish right there on the right, and I didn't see him till I got right on top of him. So uh, this is a pocket right behind that boat dock. Where that fish was sitting on that point. This is not 70 yards away, and the fish on the right is catchable. Matter of fact, I come back and catch that fish later. I don't think I've got it on camera, but I decided to go past this fish and set up where kind of like I did on the other one, where I'm not throwing the full profile. And I mean, that fish is barely a rod's length away from me. So I pitched to the back of the pocket. I kind of pitch around, and over there on the left, that biggest bush, right where the emergent grass kind of ends, I just see a fish sitting over there. And crazy as it is unresponsive to the bait as that fish was on the point. This fish is unbelievably aggressive. I've never seen a fish come to the top of the water and eat a Cinco quite like this fish is about to eat a Cinco. I caught one at Texoma once. It was super aggressive, but let me show you that again in slow-mo.
That's called one not wanting you to mess with your fry. I saw her laying over there and pitched a Cinco past her and drug the Cinco right to her fry, and she said, "Choo choo." It's another big old healthy 4.5-pounder. I thought that was a 2-pounder when I saw her over there. I didn't realize she was near that big. Oh my goodness. I didn't think she was nearly that big. not going nowhere. She is stuck. That little 4-out EWG hook. Right in the roof of the mouth. Sorry, darling. I'm trying to get you free. All the way through. Here we go. That's a nice fish. You can tell my buddies are gambling today. They're lighting my phone up. I don't know if y'all can see that in the background, but there's a structure fire over there. And whatever it is, I keep hearing stuff cooking off. It's either rounds of ammunition or it's some kind of chemicals in a barrel or something, but they keep going. Oh, you hear the sirens coming. Boom, boom, boom. Well, that was not an unfun day. You know, I kind of wasted part of the day. It's always hard when you hadn't been in somewhere in a long time, just to kind of roll up. And I wasted a bunch of time up the Glade Arm. Once I came down here, I was in that first creek off the dam. I think it's called Cheney, if I remember right. But you know, I saw a lot of fish garden fry. Not a lot. You can regularly find fish garden fry. You know, if I were practicing for a tournament, I don't think that's what I'd do. I went out and scoped for just 20 minutes and had one little fish out there scoping. I didn't see a lot of fish, but they're obviously starting to pile up out there. So I don't know what I would do, but you know, I had 5 today, and I had 3 probably over 5 pounds, and then a couple of solid keepers. So I certainly didn't have a dirty 30, but I had, you know, pushing 20 pounds, and really only fished productive water for maybe 4 hours. And I don't know, man. It was a fun day, and there's definitely some fry garters, but I think scoping, no doubt, is going to be the way this thing's going to be won. Unless Lee's on some fish somewhere, some post spawners, which he gets on post spawn here, and there may be an early bite. I didn't get here till about an hour after daylight, so we'll just see what happens. I'm looking forward to it.